Join us on Patreon and become part of our journey to uncover history's untold stories. Your support helps us create in-depth content, bring hidden narratives to life, and keep history alive for everyone.
Amid the dense forests and rolling hills of what is now central Alabama, an event unfolded in 1814 that would shape the course of American expansion and indigenous resistance. The Battle of Horseshoe Bend, a defining conflict of the Creek War, is often remembered for its fierce combat between the Red Stick faction of the Creek Nation and the United States forces led by General Andrew Jackson. Yet, hidden beneath the dominant narratives of this bloody confrontation lies a forgotten history, one of black natives, Maroons, and freedmen who fought, lived, and died alongside the Creek people in a desperate struggle for survival. These individuals, often overlooked in historical discourse, played a crucial role in the resistance against American encroachment, blending African and Native traditions into a unique cultural identity that was both resilient and defiant in the face of oppression. This article delves into the untold story of these black natives at the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, tracing their origins, their allegiance to the Red Stick movement, and the ultimate consequences of their involvement in the conflict. Their history is a testament to the complex racial and political dynamics of the early 19th century and provides a crucial perspective on the broader struggle of African and indigenous peoples against colonial expansion. To understand the presence of black natives at the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, one must first examine the deep historical ties between African and Native American communities in the Southeast. By the early 18th century, European colonization had drastically reshaped the region, leading to forced migration, territorial disputes, and the enslavement of African peoples. Many enslaved individuals, seeking refuge from the brutality of plantation life, fled to Native American territories, particularly those controlled by the Creek, Seminole, and Cherokee nations. The Creek Confederacy, a powerful alliance of Muskogee-speaking peoples, had a long history of incorporating outsiders into their society. Over time, many Africans who escaped slavery found sanctuary among the Creek, adopting their customs, languages, and even intermarrying into their communities. These individuals and their descendants came to be known as Black Seminoles, Black Creeks, or simply Maroons. While their status varied, some were fully integrated into Creek society, while others lived in separate Maroon settlements. They were united by a shared desire for freedom and autonomy. By the early 19th century, tensions within the Creek Nation had reached a breaking point. The growing influence of American settlers and the expansionist policies of the U.S. government created divisions among the Creek people. While the so-called Lower Creeks sought accommodation with the Americans, the Upper Creeks, particularly the faction known as the Red Sticks, vehemently resisted foreign encroachment. The Red Sticks, named for their Red War clubs, sought to restore traditional Creek ways and reject European influences. Their resistance was not only a political struggle, but also a spiritual movement inspired by visions of unity and a return to indigenous sovereignty. For black natives within the Creek Nation, the Red Stick uprising presented both an opportunity and a dire necessity. The Red Sticks opposed the U.S. government, which was actively expanding slavery in the South. Many black natives fear that a Creek alliance with the Americans would result in their re-enslavement or expulsion from their lands. Consequently, they aligned with the Red Sticks, fighting to preserve both Creek autonomy and their own freedom. On March 27, 1814, the Battle of Horseshoe Bend erupted as Andrew Jackson and his forces, consisting of U.S. troops, Tennessee militia, and Cherokee allies, launched a devastating assault on the Red Stick stronghold at Taopeka, a fortified encampment on a bend of the Tallapoosa River. The Red Sticks, including black warriors and Maroons who had sought refuge in the Creek Nation, fought desperately to defend their land and way of life. Jackson's forces had a significant advantage in weaponry, numbers, and tactical support. With cannon fire and a well-coordinated attack, the American troops breached the Red Stick defenses. The battle quickly devolved into a slaughter, with over 800 Red Stick warriors killed, including many black natives who had taken up arms in the desperate defense of their home. The U.S. forces spared few combatants, and survivors were either captured or driven into exile. For the black natives who had fought alongside the Red Sticks, the battle marked not only a military defeat but also the loss of a fragile sanctuary. The consequences of the Battle of Horseshoe Bend were profound. The defeat of the Red Sticks led to the Treaty of Fort Jackson, which ceded vast Creek lands to the United States, paving the way for further American expansion. For Creek people, this was a devastating loss, but for the black natives who had fought alongside them, the aftermath was even more dire. Many were captured and re-enslaved by American forces, while others fled deeper into native territories, seeking refuge among the Seminoles in Florida. Despite their sacrifices, the contributions of black natives to the Creek resistance remain largely unacknowledged in mainstream historical narratives. Yet their legacy endures in the cultural and genealogical heritage of Native and African American communities throughout the Southeast. The fusion of African and Creek traditions, language, and resistance strategies forged a unique identity that would later influence movements for freedom and self-determination in the 19th and 20th centuries. The Battle of Horseshoe Bend stands as a pivotal moment in American history, marking the ascendancy of Andrew Jackson and the further entrenchment of U.S. expansionist policies. Yet, within this larger narrative, the stories of the black natives who fought and perished at Topeka deserve recognition. Their struggle was not merely one of survival, but of defiance against oppression and the relentless pursuit of freedom. Their history, long buried beneath dominant narratives of white expansion and indigenous resistance, is a testament to the complex racial and political landscape of early America. By reclaiming and remembering their contributions, we not only honor their legacy, but also deepen our understanding of the intertwined fates of African and Native American peoples in the age of American expansion.